Hi, greetings to you all. I know the book that I'm holding is heavy. It's really heavy. It's a huge book, and sometimes I wonder, I could just take a lifetime reading this whole book and I might just not remember anything. And I know what you're thinking. Most of you who are watching this video, you're thinking, hey, it's not just one book. There are 8 to 9 to 10 more such books. And not just these books, there are prescribed books, there are supplementary readings, and so on and so forth. Oh God, how do I get all this into my head? The study of management is vast. Business studies is vast. There is so much that we have to learn from this business. But have you ever noticed that in spite of the fact that when we have all the resources that we need and all the things in the rightful connections, we still do not perform because we are not just very happy. And then when we realize this, we just crush and crumble. We just lose our self-esteem. How does this happen? Don't worry. Do not frown, do not sulk, do not feel any low, do not disapprove, don't discredit, don't disfavor, don't discourage yourself. All you need to do is just pat your back, because learning is an ongoing and a never-ending experience. There are so many ways that we can learn. Now, let's try and put a little bit of goodness, lightness into the way we study. Let's not stress it up. I beg your pardon, I know it's very easy for me to say, but a bit difficult for you when you are facing the examination to not have any amount of fear. But then it's still a control of the mind. We can actually do that. So what we need to do is just take it easy. We try to find goodness in everything. What we need to do is to actually find goodness and humor into our study routines. Like, for example, you might be thinking that who is the father of scientific management? Oh my God, is that Taylor? Is that Phil? And then we got all these names just barraging our heads. What you need to do is just think about the name. The name is Phil. Create a little bit of a jingle like Phil, Phil, Phil. He's the father of management, Phil, Phil, Phil. So when you do that, you're creating this dopamine effect in your head. That's very important for you to understand, that when you create a little bit of goodness, it happens. A little bit of technique as well. See, it's the first thing, we create goodness and a little bit of humor. The next thing is we now try to see if you can use some good learning management techniques. Now, when you think about the principles of management, there's so many things. There's planning, there's organizing, the controlling, and you get all confused. So what I did as a student and what my professors actually told me and what I will share with you, and like a trusted, well-established technique, is we take the first alphabet of each of these jargons, like a P from a planning and O from organizing and all of this, and we create our own word. Like when I was a student, I created the word POSDC, post-DC, post-DC. Easy to remember. You know what it is? P is planning, O is organizing, S is stuffing, D is directing, C is controlling. Now, in other books, you'll find another C that talks about coordinating. If you wish, if it's in a syllabus, go ahead, add it. My point here is create a happy environment, create a happy technique. We also need to understand that you need to put in the study hours. And these study hours are so important. You need to put in the hours. It's very important. When do you study? When are you comfortable? I used to be very comfortable in the morning because nobody disturbed me. So I woke up at 4 in the morning, 4 to 6, undisturbed time. Nobody wakes up. Even the internet world is fast asleep between 4 to 6 a.m. Everybody's sort of chilled out and they're all relaxing. That's the time I can focus on my whole study content. And that's very important. There's 2 hours. I make notes. I would also recommend that you should start handwriting your notes. It's very important because you see, you're basically allowing your mind and your physical action to coordinate and connect with each other. So learning becomes even more effective when you handwrite. But not just handwriting. You can use annotations as well in your book. Elaborate them. Now, probably if your lecturer speaks very fast, or your teacher speaks very fast, you can just take permission from them and say, sir, if I could just record your conversation, or probably if they could allow a laptop in the class, and so that as the lecturer speaks, you could just type it down. That is up to you to see if your facilitators, teachers in the class actually allow these sort of arrangements. But what you need to do is when you get back home, you need to create all these annotations, highlighters, make it like a rainbow, make your whole notebook look like a rainbow, different colors, different highlightings, and then you have indexing, everything done. So when you actually open your book, it looks nice. It doesn't look like as if there is no beginning and there's no end to that. That's very important. Number 2, what you need to have, boys and girls, is to establish good relationships with your peers. Hang around with people who are positive, people who are into academics, people who really know their stuff. They are very important. Now, these guys are basically the ones who influence you. These are called as your influences. You need to identify. There could be just 5 to 10 to 15, or probably your entire class is like that. And if it's the whole class which is intelligent, that would be amazing. So you need to find out who are these guys and girls, or these bunch of people, a bunch of intellectual people within your community with whom you can associate. So when you associate with these kind of people with a positive mindset, it works on you as well. And the third thing that is a problem is because there are so many books that we actually have. So when we have so many books, what do? We read a book, and sometimes we find it that we are finding it difficult to understand the language. We're finding it difficult to comprehend. We're finding it difficult to understand the way the author is trying to explain the concept. Now, in such a case, I would not want you to sulk down and say, oh my God, I can't understand this, and just give up. No, never do that. What you need to do is to then look for other books written by other authors, probably local authors, and so on and so forth, and then try to mix and match with an author who basically could think in the level in which you have parked your intellectual abilities. And then when that happens, bingo, eureka, you get a book which is not just comprehensible, but which is very, very interesting. So you'll see here, in just a matter of no time, from oh God, I'm doomed, to oh God, I am now absolutely secured. So please make sure that you do your study time, minimum 2 hours a day. Very important. Let me repeat myself, 2 hours a day. It is very important. Minimum. If you can put in more, even better. 2, 4, 6, 8. But make sure that you give yourself this little bit of a time to rest and relax and to revive. It's very important. I will again repeat myself. Please try to find goodness in any possible thing, no matter how small it is. Put in a little bit of humor, put in that goodness, make it feel great. All these concepts of managements, principles, theories, they will just float in. Try to be like a managerial sort of a person, and think like, if I was a manager, how would I control these people? How would I plan a project? Just do this role play within yourself. And if you have nobody else to do that with it, I'm sure you have a mirror in the house. You could just look into the mirror and just play the role. That will not just only help you understand the concept, but it will also improve your confidence, your communication skills, and your ability to connect with the audience. Very important. Number 2, you need to connect with people who are very highly intellectually inclined. You have to do that. That is very important, because then again, as I said, they will give you a different perspective that you probably thought was not important, but then it could turn out to be absolutely instrumental from the examination point of view. Number 3, make and pay good attention to the number of references that you're actually referring to. In other words, the books that you're referring to, which is very important, because you see, some people like colorful books. Like I personally like books with a lot of pictures, picturesque orientated textbooks, and it makes you feel nice. And some people like it in small text, big text, and so on and so forth. Sometimes even the fragrance of the book. I still remember that good old days we used to keep this old leaf into a book, and then the fragrance of that leaf would just spread across the book, and every time we'd open that book, there would be this nature's fragrance just filling up the whole aroma, making us feel very good. Also make sure that you're in a right place. It is not important that you need a very, very quiet place. You could be in a very noisy place in the middle of the street with car honking and with a lot of people hovering left and right. You can still focus and study there. But that place should be conducive for you. And it's very important that you find yourself such a place. In other words, in small words, in a nutshell, just be happy. Don't let anything get your way into your success, because only you have that power inside you to make a change for your life, for your career, for yourself. All the best, and may the force be with you. Thank you very much.